Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, the update's out, right? And the first thing that we took a look at, obviously, was the Rhino. But there's something actually significantly more broad and global happening with this update in the game. And it's one of the biggest changes to the core understanding of the game that we have had in a while, and that is to do with prestige. Now, my personal prestige upon logging in went down from about 35.5k or 30 something like that to about 30.5k. So I effectively lost about 5k prestige, which is not the worst prestige loss that I have seen, because I have seen some folks who have lost about 10k in prestige or 8k in prestige. And obviously this will have a ton of implications. So what changed was previously only top 5 champions and relics counted for your overall account prestige. Now Kabam has upped that number from 5 to 30. Now all of a sudden, previously the prestige champions for me would have been Quicksilver, Shatter, Dark Phoenix, Onslaught, and Yelena. It's quite good. It's not ideal because I didn't rank up Iron Man Infamous Iron Man, and I do not have High Evolutionary yet, for instance, from the champion side. But I did have 5 out of top 8, let's say. So that was decently high prestige. And now, champions. Now Mantis is in my prestige list. I have never given her a single 6-star. She's like 100 something, and I have Shuri 200, and somehow I have Werewolf in there, and Ironheart, and Hulk that I can't seem to stop duping. And well, there are quite interesting champions currently affecting my prestige. So, obviously the job is, well, to improve your prestige, right? Except that now, kind of a lot harder and a lot broader. And this, however, will also obviously now affect not only the variable event quest, but also alliance quest. So I understand that currently a lot of people don't really care for prestige, that are not pushing AQ, have never ranked for prestige. But obviously with Kabam bringing kind of more global rewards to the prestige, I believe that more people will kind of start noticing it, especially if there is some sort of noticeable difference in between the event quest rewards, which is kind of a discussion in itself, which I did want to point out, but I am kind of annoyed by it, because nowhere that I checked, even from the stream previously as well, we don't have any details of the side quest. Sorry, of the event quest. We don't know what the thresholds of the prestige will be, what will be the requirements, because if it's like anything about 30k is the max reward, and then under 30k to like 28 to 30k, we don't know that, and that is going to be very, very significant. Because obviously the alliances that didn't care about prestige before, they don't care about prestige too much now. They're gonna not feel as pressed to improve their prestige unless each individual player wants to improve their rewards if they can get significantly better thanks to the event quest and in the event quest. So there are still a lot of questions right now, and this is like very uncertain time overall in the game, because number one, we have no idea where our alliances will land. How, if you were top 30 before, will you remain top 30? Maybe your alliance gets a bit higher, maybe your alliance drops significantly down. Because ultimately, when you look at it, every single alliance is in the same boat. There are some bigger accounts with high prestige that do spend on the game, and there are, the smaller accounts who, always had the lower prestige, and the, I would say, thickness or the depth of the account is like extremely varied in just about every alliance. And we all got prestige reduction. Again, as I saw, most people got like 5k, some people got like nearly 10k reduction in prestige, and that is a very significant change. And therefore, again, we have no idea where the alliances will land and where the event quest rewards will be. Based on that, we will also definitely see kind of differentiating behaviors, because now each individual top prestige champion kind of impacts you less. Like previously, if Kabam released a top 5 prestige champion, it was borderline must-have to acquire type of situation. For instance, High Evolutionary, in my mind, is like, I have to get that champion. If I don't, I'm going to be falling behind in prestige. Now, when it's 1 out of 30, it matters a lot less. It matters exactly 6 times as little, because I might not have High Evolutionary, but if I have the lower prestige champs ranked up and sigged up to Sig 200 and taken to rank 4, that, could easily let me offset missing the High Evolutionary. Because I don't think anybody, or hardly anybody at this point in the game, has the 30 rank 4 7 stars, for instance. So everybody's prestige is just about mix of rank 3s and rank 4s. But there are many things that are unavoidable with this change. And that is even completely disregarding the alliance behavioral norms that will be shifting, because previously, if you're in prestige alliance, you were kind of expected to chase these prestige champions and rank up specific champions for prestige. Will that still be the case, or will that be the case for all 30 champions? We don't know. Like how far people are going to take the prestige in the higher prestige alliances, and how rest of the alliances are going to approach the subject. Neither we know what will be your personal incentives in regards of prestige, because now we know that the monthly event quest will have different rewards based on your prestige, but what will be the difference? For instance, if it is the difference of you getting, I don't know, half a tier 7 basic or getting a full tier 7 basic every month, or half a Titan Crystal and a Titan Crystal, obviously it will not be immediately that big, but you do have a fairly good incentive trying to push your prestige yourself, regardless of what your alliance does. And it can shake up in many different ways. So I do not want to be completely, pessimistic, because again, it will just change the way, potentially change the way we rank up champions or look at champions or care for prestige, entirely based on whether it's worth to chase higher prestige now for more people, for more casual players. But the one thing that we cannot escape from is the huge difference in the amount of rank ups and the overall SIG levels of the ranked up champions. Because Kabam has very long been very stingy with 7-star signature stones, and obviously if you spend less, you open less 7-star crystals, and the average SIG levels of your champions are going to be significantly lower regardless who you rank. And therefore, like, if you're not capable of SIGing all the champions up that are needed for your prestige, and that is currently, I think, the case for like 99% of the players. Like, again, there are many champions here in this list for me that are like SIG 100 random rank 3s that are ranked up for whatever reason, or like SIG 120s, and there are like SIG 20 rank 4s. Like my Spider-Man is SIG 20, I believe, and my Anim Zola is like SIG 20 and 40 as well. My Nick Fury is SIG 30 now, and so on and so forth. And it's gonna be quite a bit of work to get our head around what champions SIG or not. But again, the big difference here is going to be your overall champion prestige level and SIG levels of those champions, and overall amount of rank 4s that you have, which kind of will again expand the difference of medium to low spenders to huge whales to free play players, because under the current rules, even if you're not spending a ton of money in the game, you could have chased the top 5, top 7 prestige champions. You could have taken them all to SIG 200, and you could be in approximately the same space, same area of prestige as some of the biggest whales in the game. Now, after this change, it is impossible. So there is no other way to put this other than saying this is worse for low spenders and free-to-play players in terms of being competitive in prestige with the bigger spending accounts. It's just, it's just a fact. There's no way you can spin this and put it in a way where this change doesn't majorly benefit the high spending accounts or the higher spending accounts. And there are definitely, well, I can't say that I have seen mixed opinions about this. I have just mainly seen negative opinions about this. like Big Blue Ox, he's very cool guy, a long time viewer on the channel as well. It's the most anti-roster diversity move they have ever made. Get ready to see most high amend Silicon Cocky care about the same 50 champions. Leads me believe that Kabam, for all the preaching they do about diversity, doesn't believe it or naively hopes we will just rank up who they like. So they are either hyper controlling or blind fools. Recent history says it's 50-50 shot. In any case, player base takes the L. And this does kind of feel the case, because you're either going to be forced to chase and rank up more champions that you don't like in order to stay more competitive in terms of prestige, or you're just going to get worse rewards in comparison to the other players who do. Because again, it was fairly easy, or well, it wasn't awful to stomach 5 champions that you ranked up for prestige, even if you weren't the biggest fan of them. It's much harder to stomach you doing that constantly. 5,000 must be nice. I went from 35k to 27k, so that's like an 8k drop. Didn't pay attention to my prestige, that's fine. Again, people who didn't pay attention to prestige, again, might want to start doing that if the EQ rewards difference is big enough. Leave it to Gabam to screw players. I still don't know how this is. It's another small number. Okay, you're going to see this with the EQ, quite likely. You're lucky, I dropped 7k. Went from one of the top prestige accounts to just mediocre level. Again, because this was something that was possible previously in terms of prestige. You could have very good prestige with very little, like, wailing about. Because getting 5 champions sigged up wasn't, like, impossible task. It wasn't super easy, but it was doable. Now, getting 30 champions sigged up, that's a big change. That is a very big change. I get 30 plus prestige now. I'm 26.5k. Oh, I lost almost 9k. Went from 34k down to 25. Damn, that's a lot. And this is a very big. What are going to be the hard prestige thresholds? That's definitely going to be a very, very big point. And what will be the rewards difference for the event quest? But I do think anybody who's actually paying attention to the prestige situation feeling quite uneasy in terms of their own personal ability to improve the prestige and what will be the behavioral asks of your alliance. Then also your alliance placement, whether it's going to stay relatively the same or it's going to shift quite significantly. Then again, your personal placement in the alliance, because we have had guys who were in like top 5 prestige-wise in alliance, and now they're down to like, you know, bottom 5 or bottom 10. And also what will be the prestige thresholds for the side quest, and you know how big the gaps are going to be and how big the rewards difference are going to be. So a lot of questions right now. And Kabam is not making this easy for players by not answering any of those questions. And it's more than likely that we're only going to see that like tomorrow when it actually goes live. So let me know what is your personal prestige situation right now. And I'm going to catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about